Spotlight. Today we are highlighting
I'm Andy Morgan. Certainly a lot of exciting things happening here at the library. Let's start first and foremost. They're back open after a major renovation that they went under that closed their doors basically for 5 years. They reopened last month. A lot of new exciting things here, a new modern look, updated computer labs. We talked about a little bit at our 5 o'clock hour how there's something for everyone to do here. When we mean everyone, we mean the little ones, teens, and even adults. A lot going on here at the library.
Absolutely. And you know, Andy, I kind of sat down and I looked at the history, talked to a very special gentleman, Jack, who actually kind of walked me through the history of this library. Did you guys know that it all started with the teacher from El Paso High School?
How about that?
Check it out.
Originally, this building that we're in opened in 1954, but the main library has been in this area since, 1894.
With over 130 years of rich history, the revitalized main library in downtown El Paso is ready for its reveal. A long time removed from its humble beginnings back in 1894, all thanks to a teacher from El Paso High School.
The main library started through Mary I. Stanton, who was a teacher. She came here from Georgia with about 600 to 800 volumes of her own personal books. She knew we needed a library in the city, so she took her personal collection of books and she moved them to a building which is over here. It's still standing. It's what is now where the Plaza Hotel is.
Located in the same footprint of the Plaza Hotel, the Sheldon Office Block was a 4-story office building occupied by doctors, lawyers, and Mary Stanton.
Mary I. Stanton definitely was a visionary. She knew that El Paso needed this service that's so important for the development of children, for the development of a community.
Fast forward to the early 1900s, and the small library Mary Stanton had created was growing. So she reached out to the great philanthropist Andrew Carnegie, and as a result, in 1904, El Paso's official first library opened its doors.
The original Carnegie Library was about, where the entrance to the MAC was. This whole complex was a big park. It was Cleveland Square Park.
At that time, the park was an old Civil War cemetery, and Jack says when the cemetery was relocated to continue developing the area, there were some interesting findings.
Well, they had all these tombstones and all these remains that were here in the area, so they had to move those remains to Concordia Cemetery. But not everybody, would want to do that, so I think they offered $10 a plot to the public to move those remains from this area to Concordia Cemetery. Well, people got wise, and instead of moving the remains, they started moving just the headstones.
A few decades later, in 1954, a new Southwestern-style main library opened next to the Carnegie Building, and according to Jack, there was a very unique feature to the building we see standing today.
This library was not only built as a public library, it was also built as a bomb shelter. In 1954, we had the fear of nuclear war and all those things. So we built a community, or the city built a nuclear bomb shelter in case there was a nuclear war. People could come to the main library. We even had rations here in the second basement up until the 1970s.
Now, a newly renovated main library opens its doors to the community, a modern anchor for the 14 other library branches throughout the Sun City. Quite the legacy for a teacher with her own book collection.
We're exceptionally happy to be open once again downtown and to provide all these wonderful services to the community.
How about that? What did you think?
I think really cool, and what's more cool, knowing the history of this building, also the history that's also inside this building. We're talking about artifacts or documents, genealogy, some of which photos. They have a huge photo collection, some of which that dates back all the way to the 1800s. So certainly a lot of history in this building, not only how it came to be, but also inside.
What's really cool is that is actually a department in this library that you're going to hear all about. It's called the Border Heritage, and we'll find a lot more about it, but for now, you know who is having so much fun?
Yeah, I saw him in the 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock hours.
Yeah.
Chief Meteorologist Robert Bettis is along with us on the ride here for Smalltown Spotlight. Robert, what are you up to?
Oh, he's going to go into the Border Heritage.
That's what you need for artifacts.
Is that what this is called? Oh, yeah, this is it. I did not know, Monica or Andy, that there was actually a secret vault in the library downtown. And here it is. You actually have to put on these rubber gloves to handle the treasures that are behind this door. And we're going to meet the librarian, one of them, who handles these very precious works. Now, I've got a little bit of good news. The dust storm warning at this point has expired. The gusts at the international airport down to 38 miles per hour. We're still under a dust advisory until 9 o'clock. We're still under a wind advisory until 9 o'clock. Bad news, I'm extending that KTSM Weather Authority alert all the way until Monday of next week, because we are going to be facing near brownouts from dust each and every afternoon. Terrible winds as we push in toward the weekend ahead. Now, if you have an item from the vault, you can't check it out. It's got to come under here under close supervision. And joining me now is Virginia de la Fuente. Virginia, nice to see you. Okay, give us, it's so exciting. Give us a little taste of what's in that vault.
Yes, here we have a special collections. Usually it was belong to the library's Southwest section, but now it turned into the special collections of the library that includes genealogy, raza, and Southwest. This one is a Treaty of Velasco.
Wow.
This is a copy, but the original is very delicate, so we have them in store, okay?
Okay.
This is when Texas became independent from Mexico.
Yes, that is fascinating.
In May 14, 1936, and then it came to the library, to the Southwest collection in 1961, I believe.
I don't know if you can see this. This is the original minutes from the City Council of El Paso from 1881. What a treasure our library is. Thank you, Virginia, so much. Okay, coming up, of course, our sponsor, Daniela Labinati of the Labinati Law Firm, is standing by with her probing legal question, and should we represent ourselves? All coming up in just a little bit. Monica, Andy?
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Don't do anything that I wouldn't do in that vault, Robert, or you might end up representing yourself.
So you see, Andy, it's not hard having fun when you have a library card.
I just found out where that was from, too. An original Arthur quote
PBS,
right there.
yeah.
Absolutely. So we have so much more fun to get to here at the El Paso Main Library in downtown El Paso on this edition of Smalltown Spotlight, but we do want to get to our news of the day.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and send it over to our anchor, Oriana Botaro, who is in the newsroom. Oriana.
All right, Andy and Monica, thank you. Well, a flesh-eating parasite that was eradicated in the United States decades ago is back and having an impact on cattle imports, causing the Trump administration to suspend imports of Mexican beef cattle for 15 days due to the detection of screwworm in shipments. The New World screwworm is a type of fly and was recently found in remote parts of Mexico. The U.S. Agriculture Secretary said all live cattle, horse, and bison imports from Mexico will cease immediately, at least temporarily, to stop the threat. Now, this has spurred U.S. representatives to take action, introducing a bipartisan bill today to combat the outbreak and protect the livestock industry. Take a look.
That's where I think it's important that we get this facility built in Texas that sterilizes these flies, that prevents them from spreading of this, this parasite that would wipe out our industry. It wouldn't just impact Texas, it impacts the entire United States. And the legislation essentially calls to add for an additional facility here in the United States, out in West Texas. Makes a whole lot of sense to me.
Now, KTSM spoke with local butcher shops who say they have noticed an increase in prices and as a result, passing some of those costs along to customers and anticipating costs to increase in the coming weeks. And tonight, Canutillo ISD's board would have made some tough cuts to help close a $2.3 million deficit, but the meeting wouldn't have had enough members to make any decisions. We've just learned from the district that the full board couldn't be in attendance. They would have voted on 12 teaching positions spread across 3 campuses. Other items up for discussion tonight included eliminating certification specialists, restructuring the HR department, and even rolling back a 3% salary increase for central office administrators. District officials say a drop in enrollment, rising costs, and a lack of state funding are just some of those challenges. The board is also expected to discuss the search for a new superintendent, but that conversation will happen in executive session. Well, that was a look at today's top stories. I'm going to go ahead and send things back over to Andy and Monica, who are live at the El Paso Main Library for our Small Town Spotlight series. Guys?
Oriana, thank you so much for that. It's time to take a step inside the heart of El Paso's literary world. We've been talking about the major renovation that took place here throughout the past 5 years. The El Paso Main Library here in downtown El Paso just reopening its doors just last month after that renovation, and certainly a whole new look here at the library, a new modern look, and something for everyone to enjoy.
Absolutely, and you're going to notice there's 2 floors to it, so we're going to do 2 parts of this tour. And I know you just saw Miss Oriana Botaro anchoring from the studio, but she also got a nice sneak peek of this incredible establishment. Take a look.
Well, after being closed for several years now, the El Paso Main Library has finally reopened its doors. And as many of you guys know, it is located right here in the heart of downtown El Paso. And today I get to have an exclusive grand tour of all of its new facilities and everything that it has to offer. I am joined by Saverio, who is the branch manager here at the El Paso Main Library. Saverio, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Welcome. I'm very excited to have Channel 9 with us. So let's start a brief tour here. So we're walking upstairs. I want to show everyone the brand new renovated sunroom. This will be available for programs, for people who just want to sit and read, for people who want to have a light snack. You can see downtown, and I think it's one of our finest attractions.
Right, you can just come here, read, lounge. I mean, I think the openness, it just makes you feel like you're at home. It looks very homey.
Yes.
The vibe in here is super, super homey.
This is our children's computing lab. So the students can either go onto the internet and do research projects on 13 of the computers, or the real young tots, they can work on improving their reading and math skills on the educational AEW computers.
And also for those students that don't have the facility of having a computer at home, this is great open space for everyone to just come. Like you said, bring your child, your granddaughter, your nieces, nephews. Pretty awesome.
Welcome to the children's classroom. This is where we do our story times. Story times are held at the El Paso Public Library 3 times a week. This is also a brand new mural here. People can sit, look at the beauty of the artist's work while reading a book.
It's very El Paso too. I love that message that you guys have.
The desert gives what it can to each of its children. Coming now into the multi-purpose room. This area is used for children's crafts, teen crafts. We just had a watercolor painting program in here. This is where many of the family programs happen.
And if they want to take a break from reading, they can always come here into the brand new gaming center.
So this TV, we have a PS4 for. Students can also use their own accounts. We have a library account so that they can play video games. And the next TV right now we have on anime. So they can come, just sit down here, relax. If they've had a tough day at school, unwind with their friends and watch anime.
That's awesome. That is so cool. It's one of the first libraries that I see that offers so many amenities. And like you were saying, very modern twist to everything, like PS4, anime. I mean, this place really has it all.
Well, that's the whole idea, is libraries, community centers. It's beyond the books. It's the welcome center for the entire family, and that's the bridge into reading, into education. And my philosophy has always been get people into the library, and they can go in so many different directions.
All right, so there you guys have it. That was the second floor of the El Paso Main Library here in downtown El Paso. Already seeing so many amenities, and there's still another floor to explore.
Yeah, and joining us right now is Jack Galindo with the El Paso Main Library here in downtown El Paso. Thank you so much for being here with us,
Hi guys,
Jack.
thank you so much for being here. It's exciting. Everybody's so excited to have you guys here.
Especially after being closed for almost 5 years and now to have your doors back open. We only got kind of half the tour there, but what's been a hit so far? What have you guys seen? What's the response been from the community?
Well, the building has been totally redone inside. People wouldn't recognize it if they used to come to the library. It seemed to have taken on a life of its own once the books were in place, once all the equipment was here. We all got excited. We love coming here to work. And the public just loves the new children's area, the new teen area. We have a new Center Future, which is a center for young people, youth 16 to 26, who are kind of disconnected from school and maybe can't find a job. Center Future is here to support them. So we have that new service to give people. So we're just excited about the entire building. I think the public's really going to love it. And so far, yeah, they've had a lot of great things to say about it.
They really have been embracing you, and you touched a little bit on some of the services that you guys offer. Kind of expand a little bit more on that.
Sure. We have great programming, developmental programming for adults and youth as well. For example, we have story times, and along with the story time, we usually have a craft and some kind of, we ask the children and the parents to work together to do the craft and to read together. And that's just a child development kind of thing. We also have developmental activities for adults as well. We have citizenship classes, we have computer classes, we have ESL classes. So a whole host of programs, free programs, by the way, you don't have to pay anything for them, for the whole family here at all of our libraries. We have a Lego program every Friday at all of our branches. And the great thing is you can go to our website and get all of the information for all of these programs there, and they're usually the same time and the same day at all of our branches. Yeah.
Programs certainly the backbone of any public library, the El Paso Main Library. Here in downtown El Paso, no different. Jack, thanks for so much for having us and for all your hospitality. It has been great. We're only, 10 minutes in.
10 minutes into the show.
We love it. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. We invite you back anytime.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jack. And like we said, we're just started, but we have so much more to share with you guys.
Just grazed the surface. Stay with us here on KTSM 9 News, Smalltown Spotlight.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Well, a very happy Wednesday, everyone. If it is Wednesday and you are tuned in to KTSM 9 News, you are probably enjoying a small town spotlight. And I am sitting here at the downtown branch of the library, taking in one of my favorite reads from 1836, The Texas Jurists. I don't understand a single word of what is in here, but there is a person with me who does understand, and she is the sponsor of all of these small town spotlights from the Labinati law firm, Daniela Labinati. It is so nice to see you, Daniela.
Good to see you again.
Okay. Actually, you said I probably read something very similar to this in law school.
Yes.
Now, last week.
Many of those books.
Many of these, hour after hour, but that's what attorneys have to do.
Unfortunately, yes.
I understand we're going to be doing something a little bit later here after the forecast called Should We Represent Ourselves? That's where my photographer Tony Pena and I challenge Daniela Labinati to a legal standoff, if you will. Tony, how do you feel this week? You feel good about these legal questions?
Not very confident, Robert. We made ourselves look like idiots last week.
Tony?
I feel very confident now.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, no, we're ready. We're ready for the challenge, okay? We're going to do the forecast, and we're going to work with me, Tony. Okay, please? Let's talk about the wind. I know nobody's really happy about the dust.
No, I'm not.
It's horrible. What can I say? Okay, so here comes your 9-day forecast. Tomorrow, the morning will be sort of okay, a little breezy to windy, but then by the afternoon, here comes the dust again with peak gusts near 50 miles per hour. That extends into Friday as well because the pattern is almost exactly the same as we cruise through the week. Some of the strongest winds are actually going to hit us on Sunday and Monday. I'm troubled about those days because peak gusts could easily exceed 70 miles per hour, but as it always does, it will end, and on Tuesday, we're looking great without dust anymore. We do have our first 100-degree day in view starting on Thursday. Now, last time we met and we wanted to introduce everybody, of course, everybody sees you on the billboards, Labinati Law Firm.
You said it correctly.
But you explained how you were an immigrant and in high school you had to fight for your credits. You've been a fighter for justice all your life. So your friends said, Daniela, you need to be a lawyer. So tell us, what made you click the switch and do it?
Well, when I was in college, I would always debate with the professors, and I would just always start conversing and debate. So everyone would say, Daniela, you need to become a lawyer because you like to fight and you like to argue. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a try.
Justice with a heart.
Justice with a heart. I put my heart into it, and I love helping people, and I love changing lives. It's honestly, I think it's a gift from God to be able to use your talents, to use your voice for the ones that can speak, to use your voice and help others. So
I love it.
I'm honored to be able to have that gift and help others. So yes.
Well, I'm ready this week, Daniela. We've got the whiteboard right here. So you stay with KTSM 9 News, my photographer, Tony Pena. If we have a little attitude adjustment, we're ready to take on this legal challenge. You stay with KTSM 9 News.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we are now continuing this tour that we kind of presented to you at the top of the hour.
That's right. The first tour that we showed you just a little while ago, that consisted of the second floor here at the El Paso Main Library in downtown El Paso. How about the first floor? Lots happening there as well.
Yeah, I hope we talk a little bit about Mandy the Mule. I just met her today. She's so cool. Check this out.
All right, so room 409, the Bookmobile. What is this room all about?
The Bookmobiles are a mobile library service. They're right now at 2 different career days. We have 2 Bookmobiles, and this is their collection. So people who aren't as mobile or can't get to one of our branches, the Bookmobile goes out on different routes and stops, and they can check out books via the Bookmobile. They have their own collection. It rotates out so that people aren't getting the same books all the time.
Very cool. To the technicality of things, we are going to go into the processing center, and what kind of goes on in here?
This is the Technical Services Division of the El Paso Public Library. This is where all the books for the entire 14 branch system are processed. If your favorite book is coming in or a new book that you really want to read, it comes through here first and then out to the 14 branches. This is a brand new feature actually. We're the only library in the system that currently has it, not only in El Paso, but sweeping the nation. It is inventory control. What she's doing is tagging the book. So she's correlating the barcode to that little white tag.
Okay.
And then that goes into the system where we can track, trace, and keep track of our inventory and our books.
Now we are in the Spanish literacy section, and we got some newspapers over here that you were telling me anyone can really check out and then head on over and just read it over there.
Right, this is where if you want a periodical, a newspaper of the day. We have other magazines and newspapers in our periodical department. Also, we have the study rooms. We have 6 brand new study rooms.
These are for college students or just anybody to essentially come form with their study group and study.
Right, Zoom conferences, job interviews, first come, first serve, up to 2 hours, and if nobody's behind you, you can stay for as long as no one's behind you.
Even better than some of the college rooms in colleges.
I've heard that already. These are better than the ones at UTEP. This is our Center Future section. This is for young adults, by young adults. Podcasting, job help, just if you need someone to talk to. It's a very comforting space, so let's just take a quick look at it.
Wow, this just doesn't feel like we're in the library anymore.
No, this is a special section. People graduate from high school and they are kind of just floating around because in high school you do have a football coach, you do have a guidance counselor. Sometimes you graduate from high school and you're just lost. So this is a spot designed to bring them back into a feeling of comfort.
So whether you're looking for a cozy spot around town to read a book, develop a new skill, or even meet new people, the El Paso Main Library has it all.
All right. Thank you, Oriana, for that incredible tour. Also on the first floor is the cafe. It looks like it's going to be called Gozo's, maybe cafe?
Gozo's Cafe.
Thank you so much. And this is actually Adam Tires. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're excited to be here. We're excited to show off what we're doing. It's a really great mission. It was created by the El Paso Community Foundation. The business was created to give adults with disabilities, like my friend Steven here, a chance to show off their potential and value. They're largely underemployed, but we see a value in them, and they're doing great work. So we wanted to expand beyond our ice cream business and make some packaged goods and sell them here in the library.
What a cool opportunity, because we're very familiar with what you guys have done over at Gozo's. Just an incredible job, an incredible mission to be able to come now across the street here at a newly renovated library, main library here in downtown El Paso. What does that mean to everyone?
We're super excited, and it just seems like this mission is really growing in El Paso, and people are behind it, and they're excited to see us grow and show off, you know, that value that I talked about.
Yeah.
Incredible. So talk to us a little bit about what you have on this dish.
Sure. I'm going to let some of our employees come and do it. They're going to introduce the dishes. Joe is coming up to talk to you all about that.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, come on over, Joe. We'd love to hear what you have. It looks like we have quite a bit of yummy stuff. I tried the quinoa. It was delicious.
Yeah, I actually tried the wrap too, and the wrap was thumbs up for me.
Hey guys.
Hey,
so
Big Joe.
It's the poblano pesto pasta salad. It has panini pasta, cherry tomatoes, queso fresco, toasted papitas, and poblano pesto. So I made this one really well with the help of our chef. The only thing that I like about it, it's really aromatic. It's really healthy, delicious, really delicious.
All right, very delicious. And we'll squeeze one more in here very quickly. Tell us, what's your name?
I'm Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
What do you have?
I helped with the Mediterranean green bowl. It has quinoa, chickpeas, roasted red peppers, and dried tomatoes, cucumber, and olive, and queso fresco, and poblano pesto vinaigrette.
Oh my gosh, it was so delicious, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Lauren, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lauren. And, you know, we can actually expect to see this food very soon here in the library.
That is right. Adam's
Yeah,
back.
we're excited. You look for us downtown in the library.
Yeah.
We'll be serving up our fresh foods. Everything is made from scratch and prepared by our team members with intellectual and developmental disabilities like Evan, Lauren, and Joe, who you just met.
Oh my God, incredible. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Thank you so much to Adam and his team. And don't go anywhere. We're talking about archives.
Yes.
Welcome back to KTSM 9 News at 6, Smalltown Spotlight, as we are coming to you live on location this week from El Paso's main library here in downtown El Paso. Certainly have seen a lot, both floors of the library after their renovation took place, and still a lot more to go.
A lot more to go. I feel like we've been talking about this throughout the entire show. It's Andy's favorite subject.
I'm a history buff.
And that is the border heritage. This is a place, Andy, where you can find everything from history to archives, everything you possibly can think of that has to do with history.
Yeah, and their collection is extensive
Phenomenal,
too.
yes.
The photos that date back to the 1800s and a lot of the archives and documents that you saw from Robert over there in the vault as well. So we actually got a sneak peek at some of the archives that they have. Let's take a look at that.
This is beneficial because border heritage is essentially preserving historical records for future generations to come.
In 1995, the downtown El Paso Library combined 3 major collections, including the Southwest Collection, the Raza Collection, and the Genealogy Collection, becoming the Border Heritage Department.
Southwest Collection contains materials both historical and current on the states of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and northern Chihuahua and Sonora of Mexico. Raza highlights the literary works, current affairs, history and culture of Mexican Americans across the nation, and then Genealogy holds resources related to family history research.
Claudia shares that one of the things Border Heritage strives to do is collect as much material as they can relating to El Paso and the surrounding Southwest, adding most of the collections they have is thanks to the donations made by the community.
One of the oldest archives would probably be a signed copy of the 1836 Treaty of Velasco. In that collection, we also have other documents that are actually signed by Sam Houston. As you can imagine, some of these materials dating back to 1836, they are in a very delicate, fragile state. So we only do bring them out on very special and rare occasions, but we have plenty of copies handy for people to take a look at them.
And it doesn't stop there. Take Trost & Trost, for example, the most successful architectural firms of the early 20th century in our region, designing over 300 buildings in West Texas, and Downtown Library acquired some of their blueprints and drawings.
So El Paso High was designed by the architectural firm of Trost & Trost. We do actually hold original architectural drawings of those plans. We have a Trost collection that contains over 500 architectural drawings and plans of that collection. We are in the process of digitizing a portion of that collection to make it much more readily accessible for patrons.
The list of incredible collections the Border Heritage has to offer the community is rather extensive and varied. Old yearbooks, early 19th century El Paso downtown street scenes, a vertical file newspaper clipping collection, even a collection containing photographs of the Mexican Revolution. Much to explore for residents wanting to take a deep dive into the region's past.
We have photographs that feature downtown as to how it looked. I mean, even our very own library, this building opened up in 1954, but just seeing the transition of how the library has grown coincides with the transition of downtown overall in the city as just how it's grown over the years.
So as the Downtown Library reopens its doors to the public, the panorama of decades of the Borderlands history awaits, and Claudia says her department is ready for the community to return.
We're looking forward to, once again, serving all of you, assisting all of you, and welcoming you back. So I hope you stop by.
All right, and Andy, I learned so much, but you know what's more exciting than that? Actually having in the flesh someone who loves history as much as you and I do.
Yeah, talk about peeling back the curtain there. Ashley Herrera, the Public Services Librarian, joins us now, and Ashley is certainly a really cool inside look at all the archives that you have here. Another thing that's been really popular is the genealogy here that you guys are offering.
Yes, that's correct. So we have a huge genealogy department, and if you're looking, thank you so much. So we have a huge genealogy department. So if you're looking for insight into your history and your family, you can come by and we can help you with those requests. I also wanted to bring by some Border Heritage information. So it just covers some information as far as all of the architectural drawings that we have, the maps that we have, and the extensive photo collection as well.
Now, you were mentioning that you are accepting a few donations. Talk a little bit about that.
So we do have yearbooks, as you had seen, and those are by donation. So if you have old yearbooks, bring them by. Maybe we can add them to the collection.
Awesome.
Real quick, I just got to know the genealogy. How does that process even work?
So it really just depends on what you already have. So it starts with you doing some research on your own, maybe some grandparents, some places you lived, and then from there we can kind of pinpoint maybe in a directory and then use our little breadcrumbs to figure out what else we can see.
You guys are so incredible. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for tuning in. We still have weather with Robert. We'll see what kind of trouble he's getting into now and much more right after this break.
We'll be right back.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
These small town spotlights could not happen without our sponsor, Labinati Law Firm. And now I believe it's time to play our favorite game of the week. Should we represent ourselves? Where my photographer, Tony Pina, and I answer the deep probing legal questions and decide if we should represent ourselves. Of course, joining me now is Daniela Labinati. She is the chief lawyer and owner of Labinati Law Firm. I'm ready for today's legal scenario.
Ready?
Ready.
All right. So we have a social influencer.
Okay.
He's in a, in a music festival.
Okay. Probably has long hair.
Probably.
Okay.
On stage, and the stage collapses and he receives injuries. Who is responsible for his injuries and his medical care?
Interesting. So he's on stage, stage collapses, he is injured. This obviously is you, Tony. Tony, how are you feeling about this legal question?
Robert, I don't wear those.
Hold on, buddy. You've got like the longest hair I've ever seen. It's like warrior hair, and you don't wear bell bottoms. What if you tripped on your bell bottoms? That's maybe part of the reason this happened.
Tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
Yeah, Tony.
So help you God.
Yeah. Okay, we need to calm this down a little bit, and let's go to the forecast, and then we'll answer this legal question. I'll try to get my legal team ready. Okay, tomorrow we're going to start out with the winds breezy, but by the afternoon, here come those gusty winds. High temperature tomorrow, 89 degrees, and of course we'll have the dust. We're going to have dust again on Friday. I'm concerned especially about Sunday and Monday. Both days, the winds could easily exceed 70 miles per hour. And of course, we'll have near brownouts from dust those days. Then like a switch, Tuesday comes around. It'll be beautiful and sunny, sunshine all the way to our first triple-digit day, which will be on Thursday. Great. Okay. Anything else you want to add about this legal scenario? Tony, are you...
I'm waiting for the answer.
Okay, I believe Tony has to pay for his own care because he wears bell bottoms, his hair's too long, and he tripped.
Robert, whose side are you on?
Okay, what do you want me to do? Do I have a law degree? Okay, what should we do here?
Under no circumstance, you or Tony should represent yourselves. Please don't.
Okay.
At Labinalti Law, we have a team of experts and lawyers that do this and been doing this for many, many years, and we do everything. We take care of people, we do the investigation, we handle everything, and you pay nothing until we win.
I guess there are a lot of things that could happen in this
Yeah,
scenario
like for example, was there a warning sign, Tony?
No.
Do you know, Robert?
No, there was no warning sign.
Okay, what about the employees? Did they ever tell you if there was anything wrong with the stage?
Did anybody talk to you, Tony?
Not at all.
I don't know. Okay. Well, that's
so
why
you got to investigate,
we're
right?
going
You
to
need
you.
the lawyers.
Yep.
That's why you can't represent yourself.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to go into a courtroom with Tony. Stay with KTSM 9 News. Thank you, Daniela. That was very interesting.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we're still here in downtown El Paso at the main library. It is such a beautiful building. Long time in the making, but I'm glad it's finally here.
Yeah, glad it's back and doors are reopened. We talk about programs being the backbone of any public library, and certainly this one no different. Want to actually talk about some exciting upcoming events that are going to be taking place here at the library. This one happens every Thursday, is Teen Hangout. That's going on from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. every Thursday for teens who just want to come to the library and hang out.
Yeah, and happening every Saturday is Family Story Time. That's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Families can just come on over and hear stories from their favorite books, enjoy stories, songs, and even making crafts.
And then also happening Saturday is Cinema Culture Club. That starts at 2:30 p.m. Those 18 are invited to weekly movie screenings that were selected by movie lovers. Certainly a lot going on in terms of events, programs, and you can, of course, find all that information not only on the El Paso Public Library's website, but also on our website as well.
That's right. We still have a lot more to share with you guys, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Well, that does it for us. You know, we got a literal taste of everything and even a little bit of history of what this library can offer.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Pretty special. Amazed at all the things they do for kids, for families. It's still very relevant in our lives. I love it.
And again, not just for kids.
For adults, too?
Everybody.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And certainly looking forward to next week's Smalltown Spotlight.
In Escárate. Oh, we're going to be talking about sports and golf and everything. A lake.
No wind.
Please, Robert, make
Fingers
it happen.
Crossed.
All right.
Thanks for joining us here on KTSM 9 News. It's Smalltown Spotlight. See you at 10 o'clock.